What's up, YouTube? I am Kon Jelly. Welcome to ComiKon. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Happy New Year! I am very pleased that 2020 is over. Man, that was something. That was something. I'm really looking forward to a much better year this year. That being said, for comics, 2020 wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. So, comic-wise, great year. Everything else, not so great. But looking forward to more great stuff in 2021 when it comes to comics. And I figured I would give you my resolutions, my New Year's resolutions for 2021 for comics, because even though 2020 was awesome in a lot of ways for comics, there's a lot of things that I want to do differently this year, or just new things that I want to do that I'm going to let you know about. So here you go, my resolutions for 2021. All right, so first resolution for 2021 is focus. That is something that I think I lost a little of in 2020 when it came to my collection and what my goals were for my collection. I've mentioned on here before that my main goal in collecting is to get every single issue of Amazing Spider-Man. It's something that a number of people have tried to do and have done in the past, and it's something that I want to do as well. Spider-Man, my favorite character. It's always been my favorite character, and I really love that book. So I have I think about 50 issues left. I've got a whole checklist and everything that I need to get done. And in 2020, I didn't really focus on getting those missing issues. Now, one of the reasons is because a lot of those issues are very expensive at this point, especially in good condition. I mean, some of the comics are, thousands of dollars if they're in good condition, but they're only maybe like $100 or $200 if they're not in good condition. And I don't really care what condition the book is in for this goal. I really just want to own every one of them. So one of my favorite things is low grade is better than no grade, because at least then you have the book. So one thing that I'm going to do this year is really focus on that goal of completing my Amazing Spider-Man run. And it might get a little expensive, but my second resolution is going to, I think, help with that. So when I get there, I'll tell you about it. But, a lot of people, what they will say is use the hobby to fund the hobby. And I do have quite a number of books right now that I could sell that could help me obtain the goal that I really want, my ultimate goal of every Amazing Spider-Man. So I think that's the thing that I'm going to really change in what I do this year is focus on Amazing Spider-Man, focus on completing that. That'll be my number one resolution. Resolution numero dos, second resolution. I need to stop buying so many variant covers, and especially store exclusive variant covers. I don't know why. Sometimes I buy them for the art, sometimes I buy them for the speculation, but usually store exclusive variants don't hold their value. There are exceptions. There are rare exceptions, but there are exceptions. But overall, store exclusive variants and variants in general are not books that are going to hold their value over time. And if you pay $20, $30, $40 for one comic that in a year is going to be worth $5, $10, you're just throwing money away. That's all you're doing. So I'm not going to cut out store variants and other variants, but I'm going to be a lot more selective on what I choose to buy. There's really just, maybe I'll focus on some artists that I like or some series that I like. But overall, cut way back on variants. Now, I don't typically buy the variants for like the open variants that are available at cover price from my LCS. I usually just get the A cover from of any book from my LCS, unless the variant is really cool and I get that instead of the A cover. But typically I just get the A cover. And there's one rule that I've come to subscribe to. I have no idea who originally said it. I've seen it on a couple comic book, forums, things like that. But always bet on the A cover. Always bet on the A cover, no matter what happens. I mean, again, there are some exceptions, but typically, if a book raises in value, it's the A cover that is going to be the one to have, the main cover. Now, if there is a very rare variant, then sure, that one might be more valuable than the main cover. A good example is Something Is Killing the Children. One of the most famous covers for it was the open order cover by Jenny Frison. I have no idea how you say her name. I'm so sorry. And I showed it in my top 20, and I don't blame you if you didn't watch that whole thing because it was like a half hour long. So, but yep, this cover right here, very, very popular, very famous. It is worth nowhere near as much as the main cover. The main A cover in a 9.8 is anywhere between 300, 350, right around there. And that cover is, I don't even think it's over 200 in value. So it's not, that was a cover that made me want to get that book, and I did get it, but I also got the A cover, and I'm glad I did because that's the one to have. Now, here's the exception. There are a couple variants for for issue 1 that they only printed 500 of, and those are worth way more than cover A. There is a Black Cape Comics exclusive, a Schmalke, hope that's how you say his name, variant, that is north of, I know it's over 500, but I think it's even more than that for a 9.8. I'd have to look it up, but there's the J. Lee New York City ComiKon from Oasis Comics cover. It's a black and white variant of the B cover. Only a few hundred of those printed. Again, worth more than the A cover. So there are those exceptions. I feel like I'm convincing myself to buy these store exclusives some more, but my resolution is to really cut back on those, especially ones where there's thousands printed. Like, there's really no point in buying a store exclusive unless you have, something that you really like about it that speaks to you. But if you're just buying it because you think it might be valuable, don't do it. It's not worth it. 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100, you're just going to lose money on it. So resolution number 2, fewer variants and store exclusives. And I'm hoping that spending less money on that will give me more money to spend on my Amazing Spider-Man run. So there's resolution number 2. All right. Resolution number 3, numero tres. Read one book every day. One comic every day, at least one, sometimes more than one, but at least one book every day. And I've got a couple of reasons for this. One is I do have a little bit of a backlog of some books that I haven't kept up on that I do want to catch up on. The latest Star Wars series I started, but I haven't kept up with it. Commanders in Crisis I've been buying that I've heard is really good. I haven't even started that yet. So there's a few books that I do want to read that I already have that I just haven't checked out yet. And the second reason is to find new books, to find things that I don't currently have on my in my collection or on my to buy list, to expand my horizons of what I'm reading. And I think making sure I read one book every day is going to do that, because at some point I will have read everything I own and I will need to have new things to buy, new things to read. So that is resolution number 3, is read one book every day. I'm recording this on Saturday the 2nd. I've already done this yesterday and today. So on the 1st, I read Amazing Spider-Man 55, the latest Amazing Spider-Man, and then today I read the latest Undiscovered Country, number 11. So I'm gonna continue that. I'm keeping track of it. I've got a little calendar that I've set up so that I can put in each day what book I've read. So I don't know that I'm gonna do anything with that, but I do want to keep track of it so that I know I can look back and see what I did. But yeah, every day, one book, at least one book. So, all right. So those are my resolutions, my comic resolutions for 2021. I'm usually not a New Year's resolution person, mostly because I feel like resolutions are made to be broken, and that if you really wanted to do, what the resolutions are, you wouldn't wait for New Year's to say you're going to do them, that you would just start whenever you had that idea. So I'm hoping these are not that way. I've actually been thinking about these for a while, so I don't think it's something that was just spurred on by the new year. These are things that I've been planning on doing. So yeah, let me know what you think. And do you have any comic resolutions for the new year? Let me know. And yeah, otherwise I will catch you at the next ComiKon. See ya.